Anytime you do stretching or mobility, either whether it's in-person fascial stretching or online fascial stretching where you do it on your own, the goal is to just go to that first point of tension that we feel in the body in that area. We don't want to feel pain. We just want to go to that first point of tension and teach the body and the muscle and the nervous system and everything that it's safe to let go of that area, that we can bring some of that suspension back in, and that an injury won't happen. Because quite often what's happening is maybe there is some trauma or some injury to that area, and maybe it was intentional, like we worked out really hard or whatnot, or maybe it was unintentional and we actually got injured. Our body remembers that and it holds onto it tightly because it doesn't want to get injured again. So it decreases that movement. And with fascial stretching, it's so all-encompassing and important, and a part that we really have neglected up until now, that we don't need to go at it aggressively. So if you think of, if you're in a car and you go up to a speed bump slowly, the car has time to have the shocks and to use the suspension, and you kind of like bounce over the speed bump. Versus if you go straight at the speed bump full speed, you're gonna hit that thing like you just hit a little wall. It's gonna jar your body. You're probably gonna tense up the next time you go to a speed bump. And that's kind of what typical stretching has been like. You know, we just go at it full force. We think that we need to feel that crazy stretch in order to lengthen that area, but that's wrong. We're actually creating more tension and more nervousness. Like you've probably even felt it yourself when you stretch. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to deep breathe through this because this feels intense and it doesn't feel safe. Your body's telling you it doesn't feel safe. There's something about this that doesn't feel safe, and when you push your body to that point, it can't relax. It can't allow the suspension in. Just like going full speed at a speed bump. I don't care what type of car you have, or sponsorship you have, or how nice of a vehicle and shocks you have. If you go full speed at that speed bump, you're going to hit it harder. You're going to feel more of a jarring impact than if you just went over it slowly and allowed the suspension to take place. So that's kind of my analogy for what stretching should be like, is we should just go to that first point of tension, that first point where we feel the little stretch, stay there. Maybe we do some deep belly breathing, maybe we do a slight head tilt, whatever the small tiny movement is, to allow that area to melt, to have the body let go of it, to have the nervous system realize, okay, this area is safe, this person's safe. We can go right to it and we can create a little bit of length, and that gives our body that suspension and that shock back. So first point of tension to improve the suspension. And I want you to remember that as you go through this. Pain is never the goal. If you experience pain, I want you to come out of the stretch or let the stretch therapist know. We don't need to go to that point of pain, because that point of pain makes everything tense up and makes our body think that it's not safe, and it'll hold on to that area to keep it safe. That's its main job, is to keep us safe, and the body doesn't have eyes to see what's going on. So we need to go just to that first point of tension to allow our body to trust and relax and improve the suspension.